Patrick, thanks. I'm outside this morning because we, along with Lite Rock 105 and the Rhode Show, we are hosting a blood drive today right here at our station. And joining us this morning is Lorraine Garvey, who survived a blood transfusion, and also Glenn Halvarson from the Rhode Island Blood Center. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
First of all, Lorraine, you really have quite a story because you have to get blood transfusions. Is it every week?
Every week.
Why is it that that's so important to your quality of life and your care?
I have an anemia, and if I don't get the transfusions, then I can't function.
As a matter of fact, you're going right after this interview, you're going right for a blood transfusion this morning.
That's correct.
And how long do the blood transfusions take?
Today, probably 5 to 6 hours.
It's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Glenn, with that amount of time, it certainly takes a lot of blood, and
Correct.
It takes a lot of donors, and that's why, I mean, you know, Lorraine is here because typically we think, oh, maybe once in a while someone gets into an accident or has a surgery and has a need, but
Right.
Lorraine depends on blood donors weekly, and many of them.
That is correct, Elizabeth. A lot of people will think that blood is needed because of trauma or injury, and surgeries and so forth, maybe because of blood loss. But there are people like our friend here, Lorraine, or LG, as we like to call her.
LG,
she likes to be
I like
called.
that.
Yep. Who rely on donations on a weekly basis. So it's not just those things that happen right away, but it's the illnesses and diseases that get treatment long term.
Sometimes people are a little scared to donate blood, you know, because there's a little bit of a needle prick. But what would you tell someone who hasn't done it before because they either haven't thought of it or because they've been a little nervous about it?
Well, to think of people like LG, to think of people who need it on a regular basis. Their children, parents, grandparents, like LG, yet again, who require hundreds, if not thousands, of people who require blood transfusions on a daily basis. So to think of them, to think that how many times they get the needle prick you were talking about, the stick, how many transfusions they get on a weekly, if not monthly basis, that just a little stick, a little bit of your time, to think about that it's not that big of a deal to think of others and the little bit of time it will take on your behalf.
You know, Glenn, it's funny because you say it's not that big of a deal, but Lorraine, it is a big deal to you, isn't it?
It's a big deal.
And it means a lot to you when people come out to donate.
It does. Not just to me, to other people. I see it weekly at the Fane Center, and it's heartbreaking sometimes because sometimes they tell them they don't have the blood or they don't have the platelets, and they have to wait, and they're really ill at the time, and it's a process.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can make sure that doesn't happen by coming down to our stations today here at 25 Catamore Boulevard in East Providence and donating from 2 to 7. And as we mentioned before, Ronzio's Pizza, Newport Creamery, lots of places are giving out free snacks, so it'll be a great time to come down. I want to throw it over to Michelle, though. Michelle, we're actually outside right now, and it's warm out here, if not a little humid. Yeah, the